You ready?
Ready.
All right. Teach Me Grappling. What's up, everybody? Brian Peterson here. I've got Eric helping me out tonight. We have a special request. I'm sorry I didn't give this to you guys earlier in the week. This past weekend, there was a UFC fight. I believe it was Joe Lauzon and Pearce. It had an amazing finish, and I know you guys that watch it, you guys that are fans, were kind of blown away at that crazy finish, that crazy stoppage. What the hell did Joe Lauzon catch on Pearce? So I'm going to just break down the last situation, and I'm going to talk a little bit about it and give you my thoughts, okay? So that's what, I forget his name, but that's what he wanted, and I hope you guys enjoy. And if you have any questions, just type down below in the comments, and I'll try to answer them if I can. This kind of position, I don't believe has ever been seen, like, because usually it doesn't happen. But first, here's what happens, okay? They ended up in the clinch. Okay, Joe Lauzon kind of popped Pearce, and he ended up getting a good body lock position. If I squeeze him and I pull his hips in, go ahead, allow me, you can relax. Okay, he pulled his hips in, they were close to the fence, and then he started to trip. So Joe Lauzon started to trip, and when he was tripping him, he was bringing him down. Once he squeezed him sufficiently, he knew he was gonna go. And the funny thing is Pearce never let go. So just hold on real slow, okay?
Yeah.
Can you just start to do the limbo? So he's gonna do the limbo, and then Joe Lauzon's right leg ended up stepping over almost like the mount. So bring your feet closer together. I know it's gonna be really hard. And then they were like this. Now at this point, Joe Lauzon doesn't wanna get thrown, so he puts on the brakes a little bit. And then now go ahead and slowly descend to your back. And boom, he landed in the mount, and the back of his head, I'm sure, struck the mat, okay? And Joe Lauzon landed here. And here's the thing, Pearce obviously has wrestling experience. I do not know Pearce, but I know from his reactions in the match, or in the fight, that he is a wrestler. And this, guys, I'm gonna hurt the wrestlers' feelings out there. This is when wrestling screws you up, is when you think it's a wrestling match and it's not. It's an MMA fight and you have to adjust. But he went full wrestler brain on that fight. So the throw was a failure for Pearce. If you didn't know, Pearce was trying to throw Joe and he failed. He hits the back, he starts his back bridge, and with this arm up high, yep, like this, you're trying to throw me in that direction. And so as he's going here, Joe Lauzon catches this neck, basic crossface. Like when you're in the mount, it's just a basic crossface. But now Pearce continues to think he's gonna go over. As he starts to go over, go ahead, turn your hips all the way over. I'll just let you get to there. Now go ahead and walk around over here, Anthony. You can stay like this, like that. The other side, please. Oops, sorry. Now, the big problem with doing this, what is the goal of doing this? He wants to roll Joe over, but Joe's got balance. This is just like trying to bridge off your back in a wrestling match, and the hook goes in. Once this hook goes in, I have a good anchor point so that I'm not thrown anymore, and I reduce his ability to rotate his hips completely hard. So as he tries to make the rotation, he's trying, it's tough. And this arm right here, this is why I'm using Eric tonight, is he was the only guy we had in class that could kind of put his arm up there. You see that? And now his arm is stuck. So I don't want you to get your left arm hurt either. Not just your right arm, but your left arm. Okay. So make sure it's out of the way. If I activate my hips, you see that? I'm stretching you like a twister. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead and flatten out. Yeah, like that. And now come around here. So once he was here, now you guys see open shots to the face. This hand can't really block too well. He's trying, but it's not gonna work too well, okay? And his other arm, that's over here, he might try to block as well, but again, these shots are still gonna come pretty hard, okay? And he needed to kind of get out of this, but he can't do it because both hooks are in. I'm forcing his hips to face the mat, but I'm not allowing him to turn his back. No, turn your back. Yeah, that's what he wanted. Like a wrestler, he wanted to rotate over and get up or flip Joe Lauzon off of his back. But with this arm caught, which is in wrestling, is basically just a reverse half Nelson. Okay? A regular half Nelson, I'll let you out. A regular half Nelson is like this. See, I have an arm around his head. Some people don't see this as a half Nelson. Wrestlers do. But now you'll see the half Nelson. See the arm going this way? Now it's a half Nelson. This is a deep half Nelson. When he rolls the other way, this is a reverse half Nelson. See it? Now this arm is stuck. So you can't go that way. Very common. It happens in jiu-jitsu, but not as much. Because in jiu-jitsu, if a guy really wants to go that way, most of the time you just let him go. And then you take their back. But in wrestling, it's integral to keep the arms trapped. So if he's going that way, trying to turn over, just try, you see how you're caught in the reverse half Nelson. If you come towards me and you reach, because you're trying to get off your back in a wrestling match, I go for a regular half Nelson. If you go back the other way, I reverse the half Nelson. But this is a situation where you're trying to go that way and you go all the way over. Which, right here, again, in some wrestling matches, this arm, my arm, will get, I'll lose the position, he'll get out. Because I'm here like this and he continues to rotate, I might lose my balance, so I'll let him out. But not with Joe Lauzon. He ended up getting the hooks in. So if you try to rotate, turn over, and get to your knees, I just put hooks in, and now the guy's stuck. And now you're not defending your face very good.
No.
Right? So this is that position, guys. If you guys want to go practice it, you can practice it. This is, again, a very common, grip, basically the cross face from side control, or when you're in the mount, but it's just combined with an opponent that wants to roll to his stomach. When he shouldn't. All he had to do was not wait until he was flattened out and stuck. If he did it a little bit earlier and rolled back to his back, now we'd end up like this. If we end up here, guys, he's in sort of like a twister. So I want to show you guys, see, I don't have the lockdown with the legs. I have two hooks. This leg is not threaded deep like in a twister, but that's basically what I have. I have a twister from the back. If you were to do a twister right here and try to pull his head, it's probably not going to work. More than likely, his hip will rotate, and then now you'll be forced to come back on top. And that's what Pearce should have done. He should not have went full crazy wrestler and said, I'm going to my belly, whether to hell, hell or high water. I don't care, I'm just going. No matter what happens, I'm trying, I'm going for this. He went all in. Never go all in with crazy wrestling, okay? Unless it works. And that didn't work. So you don't want to do that. If you start to rotate, let's say I'm in the mount, and you start rolling over, and your underhook is high.
Okay.
Yeah, no. See, you don't understand. See, a lot of people will do this. But that's not what he's doing. He's trying to bridge out like a wrestler, not trying to flip me. Try to bridge out. No, you're not getting out. No, you don't understand. Just take your arm and reach above your head. If you continue to reach, I might lose your arm.
Okay.
But I'm not going to because I'm Joe Lauzon. Start to roll over, slow. Just start to roll over. Keep going. And then the hooks go in. Now, once you're here, if you feel yourself getting punched once or twice, you just roll back. Yeah, roll back so that I have to come back to the top. Don't wait until you're flattened. Guys, I want you, for those of you guys that have access to that video, go back and watch it. Watch Pearce just try super hard to turn his right hip. In other words, he was in my position right here. He's trying to turn his right hip to rotate through hard enough to free up his arm, to put enough pressure to free up his arm or to flip Joe. And it was just a really bad decision. Again, in the beginning stages of that scramble, he should have rotated back to face Joe, but he didn't choose it, and it turned out into being a crazy highlight that we're all going to be watching for many years to come. So let me show you guys a little bit about this throw. Okay, so what was Pearce doing when he got taken down? I'm going to go backward now, back to the throw. I know this isn't going to be as exciting. The finish is what everybody's interested in, but I'd just like to mention, what was Pearce doing? Why did he get mounted? Guys, he was not trying at all to get position. This is why I say he went full wrestler. In his mind, he was just dead set on locking up in a body lock, and he was trying to do what's called a sag body lock. So a sag body lock, there's in Greco. Okay, there's different variations, but what I'm gonna do, come over here. Okay, what I'm gonna do in a sag body lock is I'm gonna step in, okay, like this. And when I step in, normally what I do is I rotate my opponent to this direction when I arch back. And when I do that, I need you to kind of like, again, guys, Eric, he's not a wrestler, so this is his first time doing this stuff. When I try to rotate this way, you're almost like resisting that. Yeah, and that's what feeds my throw to my left. So as I step in and I'm here, see how you're holding me up? Yep. This is the position, except Joe was over the other leg too, but don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. This is showing the sag body lock. Right now it looks like I'm done for. But what I'm doing is I'm rotating back this way, like I'm throwing him this way. Feel that? Yep. And now what you want to do, you can move around Anthony. What you want to do is you want to post your left hand. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. See that? But the thing is, as you land on top of me, I'm going to pop my hips. So go ahead. As I pop my hips, I end up landing right on top. And that's that bridge that you saw Pearce try after the smack landing that didn't land in a very good throw for him. He then tried to further hit his back bridge and just go all in with bridging out. Guys, this is why you have jiu-jitsu and hip escapes. So I know you jiu-jitsu fans are going to be like, yeah, jiu-jitsu, rah, rah, rah. Guys, I love wrestling. I'm a wrestler. But you've got to blend them together. You can't just go full wrestler like that. It was just a really bad idea. So especially once Joe had both legs. Like imagine you're there and I've got both legs here. It's still possible for me to throw you. But when he's arching back, he wants to finish that throw, but Joe had better position. He had his feet, planted into the mat, and then all he's got to do right there is just balance. Spread out and try to balance. And then that whole pancake right there, landed in the mount. And then the rest is what I showed you guys earlier. Simple crossface, and you have a guy bridge hard. If his hips come up and give you a little gap to put your hooks in, flatten him out, and now he can't defend his face. And Herb Dean's coming in. So that's your breakdown, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Of course, I'm armchair quarterback in this one, but that's what I do, guys. I'm not fighting anymore. All you guys that love the Khabib videos that I do, some people hate me for them. Guys, remember, I break these videos down, these moves down in a video format so that you guys can learn about what these fighters are doing. Not so I can say, this is what I would have done and I would have gotten out of it. I would have thrown Joe Lauzon. I would have gotten out of that. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this is kind of what happened. Here's how it went down. There's still a lot you can learn from that. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys next time with more. Thank you so much, dude.
Thank you, Coach.
You're the man. See ya. Okay. We're gonna click the links and we're gonna go Patreon, we're gonna go PayPal, thank you guys, see you later. Santa Clarita's on fire right now, so I gotta go home. Hopefully my house is doing okay. If you guys didn't know, Southern California, we're going through trouble.